Hi everyone, I'm Caroline, founder of Botanycl. So I don't know if you know much about Botanycl already. Botanycl is a natural skincare and plant-based vitamin brand that I created in 2018. The main product is called Skin Clear Elixir, and the way that Skin Clear Elixir essentially works is for acne in women, but it can also help men as well. So a bit about the history of why Botanycl started and my problems with acne and how I fixed them is that when I was 25, I was still experiencing acne. It didn't stop when I got into adulthood. I had it since I was a teenager and it just continued throughout adulthood, and I was kind of at my wit's end with it. I felt like I was the only one struggling still with acne at that age, even though I know that's not true, but it feels like that at the time. I was working in mental health at the time and I just had enough of acne and started to really research into what could be causing my acne. Tried everything on the market. I'm sure a lot of people will relate to that. Trying everything and maybe getting a temporary fix or a short-term solution, but not really tackling the actual cause of the symptoms or the cause of the acne. So I tried everything, like GP prescriptions, retinoids, which if anyone's tried retinoids, you probably notice that it kind of sheds the skin slowly, but it can have quite a drying effect and it's quite harsh on the skin, and it did only have short-term effects. I tried laser treatment for my acne as well in the clinics, and I tried antibiotics, 2 different antibiotics. The acne just kept coming back. So I realised the one thing that I hadn't actually looked at is whether my hormones might be at play, and the one thing that I hadn't tried was any hormonal treatments for it. So I basically looked into hormonal treatments, and I guess my first finding was GP prescriptions and the combined birth control pill. So the combined birth control pill essentially can be quite good for acne because it can reduce the level of the androgen hormones, which are the male hormone that females have and fluctuates throughout our life as well, a form of testosterone. And the combined pill works in 2 ways: by one, reducing the level of androgens in the body, and 2, by having a slight estrogen boosting effect as well, and that kind of keeps the androgens in check. But I'd never been allowed to go on the combined pill because I had a history of migraines with aura growing up, and I don't know if anyone else has the same thing, but the doctors don't let you use the combined pill if you have had migraines because of the risk of stroke. So it wasn't an option for me basically. But I know there's a lot of women as well that just don't want to use birth control. They don't want to, have a constant impact on the hormones and altering the hormones in ways that give side effects. So I couldn't use the combined pill. I'm sure a lot of other women probably don't want to use the combined pill, and as a result I started to look into herbal alternatives that could essentially balance my hormones, balance my androgen hormones in the same way that the combined pill does, but without raising my estrogen. It's actually the estrogen effect of the combined pill, the estrogen boosting effect, that is the reason why people with migraines can't use it. So I wanted to find something herbal that could reduce my androgens, my testosterone, but without essentially raising my estrogen. So I do have a background in research. I studied a research degree, so that is one of my strong points, luckily. So I literally spent hours and hours just kind of researching different scientific studies and finding the best natural remedies for helping reduce my androgen hormones. And I did come across a few herbs, one of them being saw palmetto berry, and I basically started to supplement my diet with natural anti-androgens like saw palmetto. I combined it with coconut oil, sunflower oil, and some natural vitamins as well, just to kind of give me that all-round effect. So my acne before I started using these herbs was kind of spread around my lower facial areas, around my chin, my jawline, my neck, which is very common for hormonal acne, which was another reason I thought it could be hormonal. And after starting to take these herbs, I noticed a complete transformation of my skin. I stopped breaking out. So here's the thing, I would always break out every day to every other day. I'd get a new spot popping up in the mirror and I'd just think it's just getting out of control because the old ones are healing, but then I'm constantly getting new ones. And what I started to notice with these ingredients was I wasn't getting the new ones coming out anymore. So everything on my face was just healing. It was essentially scarring that was healing, the hyperpigmentation, which can take about 6 months, up to 6 months to really fade. But I was okay with that because it wasn't the raised ones anymore, and that was the thing for me, is those raised ones that you just can't cover with makeup. So it was absolutely incredible. My confidence was back. I was able to kind of go out without makeup or go out with minimal makeup, and it was just amazing. Even just to go to the shops, before I would kind of pile it on. I wanted to develop a product that had these ingredients to help other people, and that's where Botanycl Skin Clear Elixir was born, essentially, which combines these ingredients. It combines the saw palmetto berry, the coconut oil, the sunflower oil, the acerola cherry, and the mixed carotenoids as well. So Skin Clear Elixir essentially has a kind of two-pronged approach to acne. So it has the natural anti-androgens in there to reduce the effect of androgens in the skin and the acne, but then it also has a natural source of vitamin C and A and antioxidants, and all of these together can help improve scarring, speed up the healing, the cell turnover as well, speeding that up, and just reducing the aftermath of acne as well. So it kind of has a two-pronged approach, and I think that's the best way, is to treat the acne and the scarring at the same time. People might be wondering, how do you know if you have a hormonal imbalance, or how do you know if you have symptoms of excess androgens and that's what's causing your acne? Well, androgens are actually one of the most common causes of acne. When androgens fluctuate, it basically increases the oil production in the skin. So the oil glands produce more oil, which clogs the pores, and acne results. And androgens, when they fluctuate and increase, that's one of the number one causes of acne. And in women, these fluctuations happen very often. So they happen just before our period, they happen again during ovulation. So it's literally monthly with women, and that might be why many of you might notice that you get acne around the lower facial areas, like around the chin, the mouth, the jawline, just before your period. And that's really normal, really common, but it is a sign of those hormones fluctuating. The androgen hormones essentially are increasing while estrogen is decreasing at that time. So, and the androgen, it's not just before your period as well. Androgens can also fluctuate anytime, and often during the teenage years, but also in adulthood as well, and that was definitely the case with me. Some people just have naturally higher androgen levels, and I definitely think that I was one of those people as well. How do you know if you have a naturally high androgen level? There are a few symptoms to look out for. So obviously acne, and the acne tends to populate around the lower facial areas. So mine was lower cheeks, jawline, chin, neck, but it can be on your back as well. So acne is one of the number one symptoms of excess androgens, especially around the lower facial areas. Also hirsutism, which is unwanted female hair, and in unwanted places essentially. So around the chin, you might see it on other parts of the body, the belly, and it's those quite dark hairs, quite coarse hairs. So you don't have to have all of these symptoms to have slightly higher androgen levels, but one of them or two of them, you might start to think whether there could be something there. So other symptoms are weight fluctuations, weight increases, or just fluctuating weight. And also some people might have irregular periods with excess androgens. That wasn't a symptom for me. My periods have always been very kind of on the time I'm expecting, but that is a symptom of high androgens as well. And high androgens is also a cause of polycystic ovary syndrome, and a lot of these symptoms are therefore common, which is the irregular periods, acne around the lower facial areas, weight gain sometimes, and also hirsutism as well, which is the unwanted facial hair. Another symptom is also thinning hair on the head. So it's kind of the worst of both worlds. You get kind of unwanted hair on the chin, but then also thinning hair on the head. Again, not everyone gets all of these symptoms. So some people might just have the acne without the thinning hair, and vice versa. And for men, androgens are also another cause of male pattern baldness, which is where men's hair starts to thin around, when they start to get older. So some men start to notice their hair thinning, and androgens is one of the main causes of thinning hair for both men and women. If you relate to any of these symptoms, it might be worth thinking about, have you in the past, have you tried any hormonal remedies for the acne or for the hair? So, have you tried the combined birth control pill and what effects did you get? With the pill, it's not always, with the combined pill, there's many different kinds, and the GPs prescribe specific ones for acne. So not every combined pill treats acne. It's important to find the right one that they recommend, and it's about which one's the most effective in reducing the androgen hormones. Also, if you don't want to use birth control, then you could have a look into the natural remedies. So essentially, Botanycl was born for that. Skin Clear Elixir supplement is a natural anti-androgen, and it reduces those androgens in the body that can create excess oil production, clogged pores, and acne, and it also has an effect on hair as well for that reason. But Botanycl is going to launch a specific hair growth supplement which will combine some of the similar ingredients but also some extra ingredients for hair growth as well, like natural biotin and things like that. So each product is very tailored, but if you're struggling with thinning hair, then before that product launches, you will get some benefit from Skin Clear Elixir for the hair as well as the acne. If you are in a similar position to me and you feel that you've tried so many different remedies for the acne, you haven't really looked into your hormones, maybe it could be worth trying something hormonal to see if that helps. If you're wanting to actually target acne and target the root cause of acne, then you need to look at specific herbs that can actually have an effect in the body with research behind them. So yes, a natural multivitamin can help the overall look and feel of the skin, but Skin Clear Elixir essentially is not a generic skin, hair and nail vitamin. It targets the androgens in the body. There's research behind the ingredients, like saw palmetto berry, which is a herb native to Florida, and it has a androgen blocking effect. I do have quite a few women with polycystic ovary syndrome using Skin Clear Elixir and getting great results as well. So as I said, it's great for the hormonal causes of acne. I'll maybe go through some FAQs that we usually get asked. So that's another common question, is how often or how long should I use Skin Clear Elixir for? And I personally used the during my acne, I used the ingredients for 9 months, and typically the longer you use it, the longer the results are going to be maintained. And the reason for that is that the hormones are essentially being balanced and the androgens are being suppressed in the body. So if you only use it for kind of 2 or 3 months, then the androgens aren't really being, suppressed for a sustained period of time. So the longer you can use it, the better, and the longer you will maintain results. It isn't something that you can take once and then your skin is clear forever. It's something that you need to use for at least kind of 5-6 months for really maintained results. And I personally used it for 9 months, and I haven't had a breakout since. I'm now 30. I do go back to it when I feel that I need to, but when I had my kind of severe acne, I used it for 9 months and it fixed my skin amazingly well. So another question that comes up is, how long does it take to work? And it's individual. For me, the ingredients, I already noticed an impact within a week of using them, because as I said before, I wasn't getting those new breakouts popping up and everything else was old and the scarring was healing. Typically what I see from women who are taking the supplement is that the typical results are within 2 months, but it can vary between 2 weeks to 3 months. But typically within the 2-month period, you should start to see some of the skin clearing up. And another question I get asked is, will I purge with Skin Clear Elixir? And it's very rare. So purging can happen whenever you're kind of balancing the hormones in the body, because you're changing the hormones. So while everything is balancing out, occasionally you can notice a purge where the clogged pores are kind of coming to a head. But that's usually a good sign, because it shows that everything's coming out before clearing up. But it's not a very common effect with Skin Clear Elixir, luckily. So the thing with Botanycl is it's completely plant-based. So it's 100% free from any synthetic vitamins. So for example, vitamin C, if you go to your pharmacy and you just buy vitamin C tablets, they will be in the form of ascorbic acid, which is essentially lab-made vitamin C. And Botanycl, the difference with Botanycl is that we don't use anything that's been made in a lab. So our vitamin C comes from acerola cherry, camu berries, rose hips as well. We also don't use any artificial or synthetic fillers as well. So a lot of supplements use things like magnesium stearate and silicon dioxide and things like that. And We don't use any of that. If we need anything to help our blend run together, we literally use rice flour. So again, things that you would put in your body normally from food, that is all you'll see in Botanycl. They're also vegan as well, so we don't use anything from animals or animal products. For example, our vegan vitamin D, which is one of our newer products, so most vitamin D you get on the market is actually made from sheep's wool, and not many people know that because it's not advertised on the supplement label that it comes from sheep's wool. But our vegan vitamin D comes from lichen, which is a plant, so it's suitable for vegans. And one of the benefits of using plant-based supplements is the absorption in the body. There's quite a lot of research that shows that essentially foods that you would eat in your normal diet, plant-based natural foods are absorbed, and the nutrients from these foods are absorbed much better in the body. And another benefit of using plant-based vitamins is that often the herbs and the botanicals have other coexisting nutrients, so naturally occurring antioxidants, bioflavonoids, and other nutrients that go along with the core vitamins that help with absorption, but also have their own health benefits and skin benefits as well. Obviously, there's a lot of great benefits for the skin from antioxidants. So yeah, plant-based is what Botanycl is all about, and we wouldn't ever include synthetic vitamins. It's all vegan, and it's also free from gluten and GMO ingredients as well. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. Please feel free to drop me a message. The Instagram is Botanycl, spelled Botanycl, and I'll be available to answer any questions in messages. If you want to check out the plant-based supplements, the vitamins, and also skincare elixir, it's botanycl.co.uk for UK customers and botanycl.com for US customers.